Well, as we wait for the markets to open for the first trading day in June, we'll see what investing themes could play out in the market. Our next guest has a few investing ideas in the Canadian banking sector, renewable energy, and the global chip industry. Let's bring in Larry Tentarelli, Chief Technical Strategist with Blue Chip Daily Trend Report. Larry, thanks a lot for joining us. What's your take, first of all, on overall markets at this juncture?
Good morning, Paul. So overall, the markets are set up well. S&P 500 recently made new all-time highs, pulled back last week, but very bullish overall technically, and I believe fundamentally.
You've got a target on the S&P 500 of 5,700. What gets it there?
So that's about 8% or so above where we are right now. So seasonally, we're going into a very strong period. So we're in an election year, and traditionally, the second half of an election year is very strong. So the June to August 3-month window over the past 96 years in an election year, it's been up 75% of the time with an average 3-month gain of 7.2%. So I think we've got some tailwinds there. I think we've got a good fundamental earnings story as well.
Some of the work that I do is actually seasonal as well. Now, in the election cycle here, you see a lot of anxiety takes place before the actual election takes place, and sometimes the market will pull back because of that. And then once it gets resolved before the actual election, like a month or two before, everybody goes, oh, we've got this sort of figured out, and we can see the market run from there. Is this time different? I mean, you know, it's kind of a crazy situation down in the States without getting into the politics of it. And maybe we have anxiety that continues right into the election and even past. I mean, does that play out here? How does that work?
I always expect normal volatility because obviously the election results, because it's an unknown, markets generally don't like the unknown. But I think the real focus here actually is the Fed. And I think as long as the Fed doesn't get more hawkish, I think that any volatility will get resolved to the upside.
Excuse me. Let's move now to some stocks that you like, and notably two of them are big name Canadian stocks. Let's begin with the biggest bank in this country, Royal Bank of Canada. Those shares trading very, very close to an all-time high.
Sure. So we look for two things. We look for strong technicals and then obviously a good fundamental growth story. So Royal Bank of Canada, as you said, just below new highs, very strong technical uptrend. It recently broke out over 24-month highs. Last week, they had a great quarter. They beat earnings. They raised the dividend. They announced a share buyback. And with the recent acquisition of HSBC's Canada's holdings, I think that it sets them up well fundamentally also.
A lot of market professionals are cautious on the Canadian banks because of the state of the Canadian economy, which continues to slow. Your thoughts there?
I would agree with that, but RBC really is the technical leader and they're the fundamental leader. So they could be subject to market direction or sector direction, but they're by far the leader.
If we see rates start to pull back here, I mean, that could help stimulate the economy a little bit, perhaps, but that could affect the net interest margins on the banks as well at the same time. Do you see that having any impact here?
That's possible. One of the things with RBC is their capital markets activity has been very strong. So while the direction of interest rates always can impact the banks, the market right now is buying into their story.
Okay, let's move to another one. Cameco, the huge uranium producer, the world's dominant uranium producer. That stock has rallied in a big way over the past year and more. We're looking now at a one-year stock history of the stock, up 99.4% over the past year.
Cameco is a very interesting secondary way to play the growth in AI and AI data centers. And the reason is Cameco, they're the largest uranium producer in North America, second largest uranium producer in the world. And the key factor here is that these AI data centers use a tremendous amount of electricity. Uranium is key to generating nuclear power, and nuclear has become a very popular alternative for electricity. And Cameco also's projected 5-year projected earnings growth rate is 48%. So they're in a very strong technical uptrend and fundamental story.
I think there's a lot of tailwinds for Cameco to go forward, and the price of uranium. In fact, I can't see anything that really has an impact on the other way. Is there anything that could derail this at all for Cameco? I mean, it's got so many pluses, but is there anything out there that has some sort of risk?
I think the biggest risk would be just if there was some type of a general slowdown in the market overall, if the economy started to slow down, if eventually we go into a recession and maybe spending slows. But other than that, I think Cameco is in a very, very strong industry and a great way to get growth in AI.
Okay, let's go to your third stock that's on your mind these days. It's a non-Canadian stock, Taiwan Semiconductor, one of the giants of the chip sector.
Sure. So Taiwan Semi is the world's largest semiconductor foundry. And it's another idea to play the way in artificial intelligence growth. So their biggest customers are NVIDIA, Apple, AMD, Qualcomm. And while there's a lot of conversation, can NVIDIA continue to dominate the market, which I think they can? Will AMD bite into their market share? Really, no matter who the end producer is, Taiwan Semi makes the chips for them, designs the chips. They've got a 5-year projected earnings growth rate, about 20%, and it's in a very strong uptrend near new all-time highs.
Welcome to Blue Chip Daily, one of the industry's premier sources for high-level daily technical and trend analysis. Blue Chip Daily is ideal for both investors and traders of all time frames who want to be on the right side of major market moves and trends. We focus on over 750 large cap stocks, all major stock indices, over 70 exchange-traded funds, bonds, oil, gold, and Bitcoin. Sign up now for Blue Chip Daily, and you will get access to real-time portfolio alerts, premium Twitter page with intraday alerts and commentary, the chart of the day with best idea, daily video and report, and much more. Claim 30-day trial at www.bluechipdaily.com. Subscribe to the Blue Chip Daily YouTube channel for more technical and trend analysis videos and other content.